for the rice and a little bit of vegetable stock. Just pop a little bit of water in there. Can you believe that we've got hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment and this is our setup? Chop me some spring onions as well.
Sure.
How's the chopping board there?
We probably have like 14 in the kitchen.
No chopping board. Mineral human peppermill.
Yep. That actually rhymes.
Your best Australian impersonation.
I need my nose to be blocked a little more.
Do I sound nasally?
All of you do.
Really? Nasally?
Yeah, I reckon. It's okay, we sound like bob heads. Okay. That's generalization. Have you ever met anyone in India sounding like okay?
No, never.
Yeah. Stand-up comedies.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't talk like that.
Taste the creation?
Yep. Let's dig in.
I think that's the best cottage cheese I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
It's so tasty.
Try it with a cracker.
Oh, good.
Yeah? We love crunch. We Indians.
Flavour, textures, a little bit of spice.
The right kind of spice.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Got one dish down for the menu. And without a kitchen.
Yeah, 1 out of 90. Hopefully the gas goes in so we can power through all of the dishes.
And at lightning speed.
I just received a call from Ashish and I thought that the gas wasn't going in tonight and that the event tomorrow was cancelled, but Ashish just let me know that it's all on and yeah, the gas is going in tonight and we've ordered all the produce now. We're planning out the menu for tomorrow to have, you know, Vogue magazines coming in, a couple of other media as well to taste the food. So, gosh, it's so funny. You think like things are going to be delayed and then they're not. So, yeah, I guess we're starting. I don't feel completely prepared at all. I don't even know what the restaurant looks like right now. I thought this time round we were going to be a lot more prepared. You know, it's a bigger market. There's a lot more at stake opening a restaurant in Mumbai. And unfortunately, I'm having all those same memories of, you know, opening Antares and not having time to test the menu and not having time to be prepared. So, yeah, it feels pretty frustrating to be just going straight into it. Yeah, I know, I'm nearly there so we can finalise it. But do you think, is the gas actually in?
I don't know anything.
The gas is in?
I don't know that.
It's not, yeah.
I don't know that. She should tell you that.
Okay, alright, cool. Alrighty, well, I'm not far, I'm coming. You need time to get into the kitchen and, you know, trial the dishes in your new environment and test the equipment and... There's so much beeping! I can't even hear... Oh. This is what anxiety is made of. Mumbai traffic and bombs being dropped at the last minute. We're pretty nervous about it. How's it going?
Oh, well.
So what do you mean we're starting tomorrow?
Look at them, they're all ready, they're wearing uniforms.
Joy,
100%.
we don't have a kitchen.
We have the kitchen. Have a look at the kitchen. We have the kitchen. You know us, we'll get it ready. We'll get it ready, Sarah. All set. Happens last minute.
So, yeah, it's really happening. We're starting tomorrow. First media is coming in. I mean, you never really 100% felt ready, but we haven't tested out the kitchen yet and started cooking together as a team, so it's always going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. In uniforms have arrived, so we're going to look good. But I would have definitely liked to have trained everyone a little bit longer. It's basically training on the job again. Hi, everyone.
Just preparing for tomorrow's first dinner.
Crazy.
There are no taps, there's no water in the kitchen.
So no water, no oven. So no slow cooking.
No cooking.
But the gas is not in.
Tomorrow morning probably we'll get the gas.
So what's the plan then?
We'll start off with 10 dishes.
Yeah.
I don't think all 10 are possible tomorrow.
No.
I'll be honest. We want to do the karari roti.
Yeah. So that's in. Karate roti is in.
Not really, no.
No.
The equipment isn't installed yet.
Okay.
There's a massive dinner tomorrow for the first preview with Vogue, and the place isn't ready. We'll figure out in 24 hours how to spruce things up and make it look pretty. The bigger issue is that mall hasn't given us a gas connection because the fire detection system is not here. Although it's just an hour's job, the guy who's supposed to get and install the fire detection system, he's getting it from Delhi and he missed his flight. This guy's supposedly coming in at 1:30 in the morning, and hopefully we'll have fire running by 3-4, so the kitchen team, the chefs, everyone's going to be working all night. There is no plan B. The only plan B is to get this damn thing to work, which is why the chefs are on standby 3 in the morning to start preparations, to start trials once the fire kicks on at 2 in the morning. I'll drink a big whiskey tonight, that's for sure, but we got to fight to make it happen. We've got under 24 hours to get everything from ingredients, plating, kitchen, trials, from scratch.
Mumbai is extremely intense and it's very different to anywhere I've been before, so I'm going to have to get used to it. I'm from a town that has 1,000 people in it, so going from 1,000 to 24 million is a pretty big change. You have to be really switched on. Everything that you're doing throughout the day, you really have to concentrate. It's like all the elements kind of coming at you at once, so you can't really ever let your guard down. So, you know, you're managing living in another country and the different cultures and, you know, different area. I've never lived in this space before, never really spent that much time in Mumbai. And, you know, again, building a restaurant, but it's different challenges to before. And this time, you know, I'm putting so much emphasis on making an amazing menu, but being unprepared is not really a great thing. My reputation as a chef is on the line because I want to put my best foot forward and pull off an amazing dinner, but I'm concerned because, you know, the kitchen's just not ready. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi.
Hi, Sarah. I've got some bad news. We can't do Vogue tonight.
Why is that?
It's cancelled. We don't have a license, which is the showstopper.
Oh.
It's a big mess. It's a big mess. We've sent out 400 invites. We got to figure out what to do. and we can't demotivate the staff, so it's got to stay between us for now till we figure out a strategy. But it's a big mess.
So we can't do tonight at all?
You know, we can serve food, but it's the wine rack without wine. No other words, we are f***ed right now.
Like, when are we even going to open?
There was no plan B, right? So we need 10 minutes of a triple shot espresso to figure out what to do. And it's so much money down the drain because it's a month of rentals, a month of salaries, a month of operations. The kitchen is full of food and we can't serve.
So crazy.
We've cancelled 300 people. We are f***ed in every other way, but the only silver lining is we get time to get it right.
Yeah.
The bureaucratic process in Mumbai can be slow at times, and working to a schedule can be almost impossible. Not only has this caused delays in the gas connection, but it now appears that the restaurant's alcohol licence has been held up in its final approval due to an unlucky accident with the person who issues it.
I only just found out 24 hours ago that this was going to happen, and then now I've just been told it's cancelled. I can think about the emotions that I'm going through. It's so crazy. All the invites have gone out and we were set for events every day from today until the launch, and now we just have to go back on all of that and change everything, and not being able to open up for who knows how long, not having any definitive date of when the license is coming. You know, it's called the Wine Rack. It's a wine-based restaurant, and the menu is based around dishes that complement wine. So it kind of throws the whole concept out of whack, doesn't it? If you ask Ashish, probably 2,000 people are invited to the launch, but hundreds for sure. And that's all going to have to change now, and it's damage control, basically. As exciting as this all is, it can be extremely overwhelming, and it's days like this where, you know, it feels like one step forward, two steps back. And yeah, it's tough. At this point, it's hard to see the day when it's going to be running smoothly and, you know, everything's going to be up and people coming through the door. There's so much pressure coming from every angle, and yeah, it feels really hard some days, and it builds up, and I think you crack a little bit. And then, you know, I definitely feel the pressure to a level where it's hard to get through. And I know that everything will be okay and it'll work out in the end, but to get to that point is hard. For me, the best thing that I can do is just try and break things down and tackle one thing at a time and just focus on simple tasks rather than looking at the whole big picture of, you know, the fact that there's so many things to do in the restaurant before opening day, and you obviously want it to be amazing, but yeah, it's hard to see that day. It's been such an exhausting day, and now that Vogue's cancelled, I just want to head home and just get over all of that. But I haven't eaten all day, so I just want to stop off at this delicious street food stall. It's called Butter Maya. I've just heard from so many people that this is the place to go to. They sell these delicious kebabs, they've got tikka rolls, and as you can see, there's so much energy there, and I'm just so excited to get over there and try some out. Hi. Can I get a tikka roll? Yeah, medium spicy, yeah. What other dishes do you have? Veda roti. That's the one you're famous for, right? The flat one. Maybe I'll try that one as well. Shukriya. Thank you. Oh, it's even better than I expected. It's a little bit spicy. There's some tamarind chutney sauce here that's a little bit tangy, and it's just such a beautiful texture as well. It's like a folded up roti with this beautiful mince inside. It's delicious. I was a bit of a moti and I ordered 2 things. So this is actually a tikka roll. This is like a souped up kebab that you get back in Australia after a big night out. But it's just so delicious because they've cooked the meat over the flame, so it's got that smoky flavour on the meat. So it's a Sikh kebab wrapped in a roti. It's just such a delicious flavour. You know, it's so nice to be out here and trying different things around Mumbai. This is what I live for, you know. It's inspiring me, and I can definitely visualise how I'm going to start using this and incorporating something like this into the menu. I can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I can feel that we're going to be able to pump out all of these dishes and the restaurant's starting to take shape. But yeah, I feel like pretty exhausted right now. We're called the wine rack, so we can't open without serving wine. I don't know when the launch is going to be now. It's crazy because sometimes you just feel like screaming because, you know, you're just trying to hold in all these emotions that when you're the boss, you have to maintain a calm face and positivity, but inside there's so many things going wrong and it's definitely hard to stay positive.
Despite the chaos and furious energy of life in Mumbai, the people are highly spiritual and time will always be taken to respect the traditions. Sarah's business partners have decided to perform a puja ceremony with hopes of turning their bad luck around.
When I first landed in India, I have to say I felt a certain energy when I got here, and along the way I've started to embrace more and more of their traditions and their culture, and I love it because there's nothing more beautiful than everyone getting around and putting out positive energy and blessing the restaurant. A puja ceremony is to ward off any of those mistakes that you might have made and burn them in the fire and just get started with a positive energy. Is that good? Does that work? Next question. I felt a lot more prepared this time round, and you know, I've spent a lot of time on the menu and I have a lot more knowledge than the first time round, and I felt excited that we were going to be quite prepared to start this time. But again, you know, it's to the wire and we're really pressed for time, and yeah, it's pretty frustrating because the prep was there. Kitchen equipment is all in place, but we still don't have any gas. It was meant to go in last night at 2 a.m, but that's still not happened, so that's taking time, and that's what we need to get started. It's expected to go in the next couple of hours, but yeah, I said that 4 days ago, so... We have no walk-in yet. It's used for a bit of storage at the moment. It's hard to believe that today we're going to start cooking. I definitely feel the pressure of it, but it's different to Antares because I guess I've done it before and I expect these things to happen a little bit more now, so I don't get as shocked when I find out. But all of these things that happen are just completely out of my control.
While the restaurant and kitchen are still not operational, the restaurant owners are already incurring massive rental and fit-out costs. So delaying the launch is not an option they are willing to entertain.
It's really been baptism by fire, because she has been through this kind of pressure before. But trust me, it never gets easy. We did a fair set of trials and we've done a fair set of work, outside in Delhi, Goa, but never in the restaurant. So we don't even know if the equipment's working. We don't know if the exhaust is working.
It all comes down to the complete package. It's not just one element. It's not the food, it's not the drinks, it's not the ambience, it's everything coming together. And now it just throws everything out of whack. I mean, the good thing is I'm just going to be refining the menu now and getting out there, getting more inspiration from Mumbai itself, you know, developing the menu, making it so solid and strong that, you know, we are going to give a solid menu.
While Mumbai is known as India's premier destination for upmarket dining, Sarah prefers to find inspiration on the streets.
Mumbaiers are really passionate about their food and what they like, so I want to make sure that I explore the city and get to know all of that and take it back to the restaurant because it's very different to the palate of Australians.
What is unique about street food in Mumbai is that it's popular amongst all economic classes, and it's common to find long lines of diverse patrons queuing on street corners at all hours of the day and night. This is Mumbai's peak season, and every day the wine rack delays opening, the staff lose the opportunity to earn tips, and Sarah risks them being poached by one of the many established restaurants in the area.
We currently haven't got any gas in the kitchen. We don't have a liquor license, but you have to maintain the positivity throughout the staff and to keep everyone's motivation high and spirits up because it's about keeping that momentum. Floors have just been polished in the restaurant. Great news. It means we're one step closer to having a functioning set-up restaurant. But in the meantime, it means that this is my entrance to the kitchen. One of the most important things is to build the culture in the staff from day one because, you know, it sets the tone for the restaurant. It sets the tone for the work ethic, for the drive and for the positivity. And, you know, it's the toughest time in the beginning, but also it's the greatest time because all the staff that are here at this time become part of the family and part of the soul that helped build the place. So it's key for us to all keep that energy, keep the positivity and to start on the right foot.
While the restaurant kitchen is yet to be fired up and the final touches in the restaurant fit-out are still being completed, the cost of rent and staff are quickly adding up.
It really does not look like a finished place. The menu's not done, the place is not ready. So we should have opened about 15 days back and we were absolutely ready for it, at least in our heads. We could have done a lot of setup work today, but that couldn't happen because the floor has been polished and no one can enter the restaurant for at least till tomorrow morning. So that's an entire day wasted. But we utilized it for some kind of staff training. We had some wine tastings and basically trying to utilize every single minute that we have, you know, to get this launch right.
No update as of yet with the liquor license. So I guess in our heads, we need to just be thinking that, yes, it's going to happen and just, you know, powering through to the finish line and trying to get everything as ready as possible before then.
Since the wine rack kitchen still isn't functional, Sarah has decided to drown her sorrows in sugary sweet treats. Located in South Mumbai, Muhammad Ali Road is known as the street that never sleeps.
I've been told a bunch of times that I must come to Muhammad Ali Road for the sweets. And I'm glad I made it here. I'm looking for this one shop to try Aflatoon, so hopefully I find it. It's so chaotic here. It's not even one of the busiest nights, but I can barely hear myself think. But I'm excited. I'm going to try and find this place.
Aflatoon is an Indian sweet treat made with mawa, an Indian cheese made from reduced milk, eggs, sugar, semolina and ghee. Soft and mellow in flavour, it's often topped with nuts and dried fruit.
Do you have Aflatoon?
Aflatoon.
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 This is good.
Can I taste them?
This is dry fruit. This is different. Dry fruit.
Dried fruit.
This is good item.
Yeah. Aflatoon. laughing at me. That aflatun is amazing. It's a soft kind of flavour. It's not overly sweet. Like some desserts can be extremely sweet. This is perfect. It's so delicious. Can I get some? I definitely have a sweet tooth. I love exploring all these little spots in India and finding new sweets to try. And there's a few Indian sweets that I'm obsessed with, like gulab jamun, but there's some of them it's taken me a little bit of time to get used to the flavour and texture of them, because they're just very different to the types of sweets that we have in Australia. So it definitely took me a little bit of time, but now I love all of them. I've just got back from Muhammad Ali Road and I, to be honest, feel a little bit buzzed from all the sugar that I've eaten. Like I should be sleeping, but I just feel like I want to start cooking. The kitchen's still not in, gas is not linked up, the license isn't in place, but ultimately we're going to be opening as soon as it is. So this is a dish that I actually really want to put on the menu. This is betel leaf, which generally in India is only ever eaten as pan. So I wanted to try and create a dish that used the leaves in a different way. So I'm making a ran kolhapuri, which is a spiced lamb dish with coconut. It's a Maharashtrian dish, so I'm trying that out today, served atop the betel leaf and a little bit of avocado raita to freshen it up. First up, I'm going to temper some aromatic Indian spices. So I've got some cloves, some cinnamon and some cardamom. So I'm using mustard oil for this dish. It just adds a whole nother layer of flavour to the dish. And for the spices, I'm using more aromatic, lighter, fragrant spices. And just heat that up to temper the spices. So you just want the natural oils to release, and you know it once it's ready, it starts to smell very fragrant and aromatic. I'm now going to pop in the onion, garlic, ginger paste and the onions. If you need, you can add a little bit of water at this stage to make sure that it doesn't burn. And then also I'm adding in a little bit of tomato puree. Now I slow cooked this lamb shoulder yesterday. I just basically did it with some garlic ginger paste and a little bit of garam masala and slow cooked it for about 6 hours till it's nice and tender. So now I'm going to pop it into the sauce that I've just made. So all those flavours are moulding together now and it's flavouring the meat and it's all just cooking out. You don't want any of those spices to be raw. You want the tomato to be cooked out nicely as well. I wanted to add dishes to the menu that pay homage to the state and actually also show people that these robust flavours do go really nicely with a red wine. The coconut milk just balances the dish. It adds a fresher element, makes it a little bit more creamy. Yeah, it just really adds to the flavour. I did not think I was going to be sitting here on the couch at home on my own menu testing. It's pretty crazy. You know, I've flown to Mumbai to open up a restaurant and the kitchen's still not in and it's really frustrating. At least I got a good dish out. I'm pretty happy with that one. That tastes so good. I think it's going to do well. Calm, you know, when we have a functioning kitchen and you can just zone out and just focus on the food, and it takes you away from all the other stresses, you know, when you're cooking and starting to make progress, it just is a great feeling. When I first walked into the kitchen today, I thought it was going to be like pumping and, you know, everyone's ready to start cooking, but it's still a long way from that. It's starting to get more and more stressful now because it is very close to the launch, but, you know, when you're doing testing and training in these conditions, something that might take you half a day ends up taking you 2 days. So it's really hard to make progress, and especially when there's a short timeline. Basically, I'm just going to clear a little space in the kitchen and leave the chaos around me because you can't tackle too much at once.
After the initial delays, the restaurant launch is now scheduled to happen in 4 days' time. Today is the first opportunity for Sarah and head chef Himanul to start training the team on the new menu.
We have around 3.5-4 days to cover approximately 95 dishes. So that's almost 25 dishes a day. The kitchen team has no idea what the menu is, and that's going to be the biggest challenge training them. When you open up a restaurant this magnitude, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind. A lot of nitty-gritty details that need to be taken into account, and it does take time. It does. I mean, we've turned this around in 3 months. I think that's record time for anybody in this area.
The kitchen is far from perfect, and there's a lot to be organised and arranged and still things to be fixed. But it feels great just to get started, and, you know, to cook the first dish in the kitchen is a great feeling. So this is my ice nougat, and we're going to put a little bit of a spin on it today. So I'm just going to teach Himanul how to make the ice nougat. Ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. So about 100 grams of sugar, 140 glucose. And then you just need water to kind of make it into a bit of a slurry so it doesn't burn. And so while that's cooking, I just need to get the eggs on. Hang on, wait.
What the hell is wrong with this?
New equipment and we don't know how to use it.
Why?
It's pretty simple, right? Fine, right? Start.
Stop.
And it's not happening.
Read owner's manual before operating. It's definitely day one in the kitchen. There's always something. Just swapping it over for my green machine. These need to be finely chopped because I'm going to mix it through the whole batter, and you want just little pops of flavour and crunch throughout the dish, not really big chunky ones. See, it's really stiff. You can like hold it above your head. The orange zest just gives it a little bit of punch of flavour, and if you like, you can add a little bit of Grand Marnier as well. Give a little bit more of that orangey flavour.
Sarah's menu will feature both Asian and classic European themes. For some of the chefs, this is a new style of cooking that they will need to adapt to very quickly.
My ice nougat needs to set for 6 hours, so while that's in, let's make the syrup. Chalo karo. Chalo karo, does that turn it on? He asked me if I speak any Hindi, and I said, Tora, Tora. It's like a little bit. Learning, slowly. So it's super simple, it's just pomegranate juice, red wine, and sugar. And just let that reduce into a syrup. Finally, first dish in the new kitchen, we've christened it.
Yeah.
Feel pumped, boys? Ready to serve like hundreds of people?
While the nougat sets, the kitchen team get to work organising the kitchen and preparing for the busy days to come. This kitchen has never been used, so there's literally hundreds of processes that still need to be put in place in order to deliver high-quality food under the time pressures of commercial service.
It's a little bit melted because the freezer was left open. That's all right. It'll taste the same.
The orange zest
Yeah.
and the textures of the nuts.
And a little bit of cinnamon in the red wine pomegranate syrup. Tastes awesome. I feel so pumped. It's incredible the energy that you get inside when you're just able to start cooking. You know, it's my passion. This is what I love doing. And it makes it all feel that little bit more real and like it's happening. I feel the kind of butterflies inside and I'm just so excited to have started. It feels amazing. I feel so... I thought that was falling on me. It was just... he was just moving it. It's okay.
As work on the wine rack continues around the clock, progress needs to be accelerated in all areas of the restaurant in order to be ready for the launch in just 4 days. After a big day, Sarah heads home to prepare for training the staff on the remaining 94 dishes.
It's such a good feeling to be able to cook in the kitchen. You know, it's the day that I've been waiting for. You know, I just felt like this day was never going to come and that I was never going to get into the kitchen and start cooking. It just felt like it kept getting pushed back, and now when I walk into the kitchen, it's just excitement, and you know, this is my comfort zone. So making a bit of a dent on the menu training feels good, but if I look at it as a whole, you know, the fact that we don't have a liquor license, that we've still got 94 dishes to train on now, it's, yeah, I mean, there's so much work to be done and there's only 4 days until we open. I feel like the best way to look at this is just to break it down section by section and just focus on what we can change and what we can do in the meantime. And there's always going to be setbacks and there's always going to be things that get in our way, but at least now we can finally start cooking.